All right, good afternoon, guys. Time now is 2:33. We are live streaming on the 10 News app, on YouTube, on Facebook. What you name it, we're live streaming on it pretty much. A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for parts of Carroll and the very extreme western tip of Patrick County. So this is going to include areas like Hillsville, those of us just south and east of Galax. So this includes areas like maybe Woodlawn, Fancy Gap, Lambsburg, and Laurel Fork. You can't miss the storm. You can hear it. You can see it there on the right-hand side of your screen. Decent amount of lightning with it, and we'll just kind of go through the process, investigate it a little further. We'll also talk about more storms that are going to develop here as we go through the rest of the afternoon. So one of the things I look for in these storms is the velocity. Doesn't look like we've got any incredible winds going on just yet. These are on the order of about, again, 30 miles per hour. So nothing that's going to go causing any kind of widespread wind damage in that sense. But I will pick up something called the raindrop size, and you can see here in the red, that is an indication of potential hail. That's in Carroll County. So that's part of the reason why the National Weather Service issued that severe thunderstorm warning. That is in effect until 3:30 p.m. And again, this really encapsulates a decent chunk of Carroll County. You've got more storminess off toward the south and west. You're probably hearing the thunder in Galax right now. Let me also just go on Facebook and make sure I can keep an eye on any comments, questions, concerns, things like that. So that's the lone severe thunderstorm warning right now. This is moving to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. Let me take the warning off here. We'll declutter a little bit. And we'll draw a line from about Hillsville and Laurel Fork. We'll bring that to the north and east for about the next 2 hours. And so this moves toward Laurel Fork within the next 10 minutes or so, toward Floyd by about 3:30 or so. So this is some slow-moving stuff that we're keeping an eye on here so far this afternoon. So the one, again, lone severe thunderstorm warning, that is right there in Carroll County, the very southern tip of Floyd County. So heading toward Indian Valley, probably between about 2:55 and 3:10. That's when we expect that storm to get closer to you. Let's back up the image a little bit. Let me go back here. That had an auto advance to it. So let's take that out of there and track these storms that are starting to develop. So you see that again, mainly along the southern Blue Ridge. What you see in Franklin County is not necessarily severe, but a few heavy downpours just to the west of Rocky Mount and also just to the west of Smith Mountain Lake. That is just north of Virginia 40, probably around Union Hall, Glade Hill area, and moving toward the lake. In fact, I'll put this into motion, and you see these moving southwest to northeast pretty slowly. Again, these are not severe. The one that is in Carroll County. And again, I think the main thing we'll have to watch with that one is the potential for hail. Reason why I'm saying that is I'm seeing a little bit of pink there on the reflectivity, the radar product that we use the most. And let's also take a little bit of a slice of it and see just how tall this storm is. And it's getting pretty tall up there. It's getting toward about 30 to 40,000 feet. So this is getting into a cold part of the atmosphere where you start to see some hailstones collecting. And so that is a possibility for us in the Fancy Gap area, eventually toward Hillsville and Laurel Fork. Looks like the worst of this is just south of Woodlawn in Carroll County. Well, let's go ahead and show you Future Tracker, and it is nailing it. It is doing a very good job showing where the storms are first developing here as of about 2:37 on this Thursday afternoon. We'll fast forward to about 4:30, and actually getting a picture right now from a viewer of some of the hail that's falling in Piper's Gap. I'll try to get that to you guys here in just a second. So let me see if I can get onto my Instagram because she just sent it through there. So confirmation of some hail that looks to be about anywhere from nickel to quarter size, just guesstimating on the pictures that I'm being sent as I'm talking to you guys here on Appcast. Let's see, it is not going to let me log in. Let me try a different, right there. No, oh gosh. Pardon me, guys, just trying to get this squared away here. Oh, there we go. Hopefully this will do the trick. and does not look like it's going to let me. Okay, so I'll just kind of do it from my phone and hopefully be able to show you guys what exactly I'm being sent. But anyways, as we're doing that, Future Tracker is showing that line of storms advancing to the north and east into parts of the Roanoke Valley by around 4 p.m. or so. So again, we're getting confirmation of some hail in the Piper's Gap area. This on the Grayson and Carroll County border, and again, I will show that to you as soon as I possibly can. But you've got these storms that continue to blossom and then move from west to east from there. So around supper time, between about 6 and 8 p.m., the worst of the storm is going to start to move toward the Hill City and toward South Side. So this is something that'll last here for the next few hours, as we've got a front that's just kind of sitting right on top of us, and it is kind of playing with our warmth and our humidity. So that is what's going to allow these to last for quite some time. These will move pretty slowly here this afternoon. Again, I'm trying to juggle a few things, so apologies for kind of the lapse here in the coverage. But as we go deeper into the evening, so beyond 8 p.m. or so, most of our storminess is going to move off toward the east. Most any rain we see tomorrow is not going to be severe, but it will be chilly. It will be rainy at times heading throughout our Good Friday. And we'll talk about the Easter Sunday forecast here in just a little bit. Okay, so let's get back to radar here. And you've got our severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 3:30 this afternoon. This is in effect for parts of Carroll County. Again, we have confirmation of some hail out of Piper's Gap. And that is a picture that I'm going to bring to you guys here in just a little bit. So I'm just working to get that into our graphic system. But there's your severe thunderstorm warning. I'll zoom in for you guys. And there, right there where you see that pink around Fancy Gap, that's where I'm concerned about more hail developing and moving across Interstate 77, eventually toward Laurel Fork. The worst of this storm looks like it's staying just south of Woodlawn and just south of Hillsville. Keep in mind that this is not tornadic in any sense, not getting any indication of that, but I am seeing some hail that I'll bring to you guys in just a second. So this is from Cindy in Piper's Gap, and the way I have to do this is just kind of import it into our system. That's why it's taken a little bit of time here, as we're just kind of going back and forth. And of course, technology, when you want it to work the way it's supposed to, just decides not to. Allie, did you have a question come in? Okay. So the question was, will Blacksburg get a lot of rain? It looks like most of this is going to stay to your south. Here's the picture that I've been talking about way too much here on Facebook Live. This is again from Cindy Rowe. Ignore the banner there. We'll change that really quick. And so you can see some sizable hail there. That's about the size of a quarter. That can start to do some damage to car roofs, car hoods, things like that. But this is in the Piper's Gap area. Just had that sent to me on Instagram. If you have any pictures that you want to share of these storms, if you see them, if you have reports that you want to share with us, you can do so by sending them through Pin It on our weather app. You can either scan that QR code, go to WSLS.com/pins, or if you're streaming on the 10 News app right now, you can go right into it and send your pictures that way. So again, we do have confirmation of some hail that has developed with this severe thunderstorm, the warning with it in effect until 3:30. So we'll stay with you guys for at least a portion of that. Here we are over Fancy Gap, and that's where the worst of this is. The lightning count has increased, so we're getting into the colder part of the storm and tapping into its strength. So there you see the increased amount of lightning. I'll turn on the raindrop size, and you can see right about here, in between Interstate 77 and 58. That's where we're probably seeing the most hail. So this is just north of Fancy Gap. This is north of Cana, north of Lambsburg, moving toward the Floyd and Carroll County line. So that's probably the area of hail that we've seen come from Piper's Gap and now moving toward areas like Laurel Fork. So no rotation that I last saw, so we're not talking about anything tornadic yet. There's no, you would be looking for greens and reds kind of located next to each other and brightening up if there was an indication of a tornado. It's not. but hail definitely seems to be the main threat here. Let's see if we can plot that. Hail size is a little wonky sometimes when we try to use that. Let's go toward debris, nothing like that. But I will go back to the more conventional reflectivity that we oftentimes use. And let's see. It looks like they're extending that severe thunderstorm warning into parts of Carroll County. So the one thing we can do to kind of show you guys the worst of this storm, again, this is now moving east of Interstate 77. We can show you how tall it's getting. And because it's getting toward that 40,000 foot level, that's again where we're getting into the colder part of the storm. And that's where we're starting to see some of that hail developing. If you're just joining us, I got a picture to show you the proof of that. This is from Piper's Gap. And a big thanks to Cindy Rowe, who sent this to me on Instagram. You can always send your pictures on Pin It on WSLS.com/pins. But this is a decent size hail. I would estimate about a quarter size prior to melting, may have been even as big as a golf ball. I was just looking at that stone right there. Pretty decently sized hail that's moving through Carroll County. The warmth, the humidity rising up the mountains, so it's getting a little bit of help from the mountains for that hail to develop. I think most times when I see that develop in our area, it's more toward Grayson and Carroll counties. So as we go back to radar, I'll show you guys the speed at which it's moving, where it's heading to. It's moving northeast at about 20 miles per hour. Again, you see some storms that have started to develop in Franklin County. They've not quite gotten severe at the moment, but I'll stop the tape here. We'll take that clutter off, and we'll show you guys how quickly this is moving to the north and east. It's not moving very quickly, I can tell you that much, but over the next 2 hours, again, Laurel Fork, this is right on top of you as far as the rain is going. So you'll get the rain, you'll start hearing the lightning and thunder, and potentially some hail in Laurel Fork. Downtown Floyd, around areas like Dogtown Roadhouse, you've got the what is it? The soda place there in downtown, right? Pretty much right next to it. There's Coco Mia. There's the Roaster Red Rooster coffee that's all in that downtown strip. You may start to see this storm getting closer to you by about 3:20 to 3:30. Again, it's not moving very quickly. But the worst of it is east of Galax. It is just south of downtown Hillsville. This is going to move along 221. So Carroll County High School probably hearing a lot of thunder. Areas like Sliders and Hillsville. Just across from the high school, there's that car dealership that's right up on the hill. So this is moving from southwest to northeast. Again, not tracking a tornado. Haven't gotten any reports of wind damage, but I have gotten reports of some hail, and you can kind of see why. A lot of lightning there with this storm around Fancy Gap, moving toward 58 near Laurel Fork. So a decent amount of lightning. The pink that you see there in reflectivity is oftentimes an indication that we're getting some hail developing. We've had reports of that, and also the fact that it's reaching very tall into the atmosphere, getting about 40,000 feet up there. That's an indication of a strong storm. So that severe thunderstorm warning is going to continue until 3:30 p.m. according to the National Weather Service. 60% chance of a severe thunderstorm watch for areas in the pink. So this would be most of us near and to the east of the Blue Ridge Parkway. And if you were paying attention to radar, and I can kind of pull this up here in another minute or so, this is forming right along the spine of the Blue Ridge. So I think our storm chances today are going to be greater along and to the east of the Blue Ridge Parkway, so areas here in the pink where you see the potential for some hail, you see the potential for some localized wind damage. I'm not necessarily concerned about that for areas like Wytheville or Pearisburg or Lewisburg or even Hot Springs. I think it's really going to be farther to your south and east. So that's your chance of a severe thunderstorm watch being issued. Keep in mind that means conditions are favorable. A warning is when you take shelter. That's when severe weather is either likely or is currently happening. Let's see, just making sure I'm not missing any kind of questions here on the Facebook Live chat. Again, we're live on the app. Go. As far as Roanoke for severe weather, so if we see anything developing and heading into Roanoke, it would probably be after 4 p.m. or so. And this is going to be with this little cluster that's formed in Carroll County. And so, by the way, when I'm answering questions, that's one of our digital producers, Allie. She's been kind enough to take time out of her day to help you guys out and help answer your questions. So what she was asking is about severe weather that's moving toward the Roanoke Valley. There is the potential for that after about 4 p.m. And you can kind of see with that cluster that currently is in Carroll County, moving into Floyd County. If you're in Laurel Fork, Indian Valley, Floyd, Willis, Check, places like that, should be watching this storm a little more closely. If you're in Roanoke, it's going to take a little bit of time. Roanoke, Salem, places like that. Cautiously optimistic that these storms will be east of the Roanoke Valley in time for Salem Red Sox home opener against the Delmarva Shorebirds. I know a lot of folks here at the station asking about that. So we're cautiously optimistic that by 7 p.m. first pitch, that the storms will be farther to the east. But right now, looking farther to the south and west, you have more storms developing. So again, this is riding right along the higher terrain in North Carolina and into Carroll County. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Carroll County into southwestern Floyd County until 3:30 p.m. No real new developments with this. You see, this is usually something we use to track debris. It can also be used to track hail. Right there, north and east of Fancy Gap, is where we're seeing a little bit of a different discoloration there. I'll turn on the raindrop size, and again, what you notice is the reds there, indicating big raindrops and probably some hail around Laurel Fork. So if you're watching from Indian Valley and Floyd and you need to move the car into the garage or the carport, I think now's the time to do that, just in case the hail keeps going and moves into Floyd County. That way you're not getting dinged up from that, because again, we've seen some pretty sizable hail. This was back in Piper's Gap, farther southwest of Fancy Gap, and that's a pretty decent chunk of hail from Cindy Row. This was probably about 15 minutes ago or so, and you can see about a quarter to a golf ball size. Before we leave this live stream, appreciate you guys tuning in again on the app, on YouTube, and on Facebook. We'll show you future tracker, and then we'll get back to our normally scheduled day. But there you see 3 p.m. It is nailing the location of these storms by about 4:30. These storms start getting into the Roanoke Valley. You may even see a little bit of flooding toward Carroll County because these storms are moving in from the same direction. But Pulaski, Floyd, Montgomery, Roanoke, Botetourt County is probably going to be about 4 p.m., 4:30 before you see the storms moving into the area. After that, they'll advance from west to east. So by 7 p.m., again, I'm cautiously optimistic that most of the storminess won't be in Salem. It'll be farther to the east, at which point it'll be pretty strong because temperatures are quite high for this time of year. Temperatures are in the 70s and 80s, so these storms have that warmth to really feed off of. And as our front, right about here, starts moving to the east, it'll take the storms with it. So later tonight, 8, 9, 10 p.m., the storms are east of our viewing area. We'll see rain tomorrow, a chilly rain, but we're not going to see any kind of severe thunderstorms or anything like that for your Good Friday. But before we let you go, we'll keep you up to speed. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Carroll County, south and east of Hillsville, and into southwestern Floyd County. We'll have the crawl running at the bottom of the screen on TV. We'll let you know of any other pertinent updates that you need to know about. But in the meantime, thank you guys for watching. Time is 2:51, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.